trophy playthrough for GreedFall. This is episode 26. Today we will be mopping up a bunch of the remaining trophies. Some of these you may have already gotten, but I'll go through them anyways and show you how to get any of the ones you don't have. And then at the conclusion of this video, we will start our extreme playthrough. And I was just checking the trophies on that, and it's like 0.4% of the people have the platinum trophy. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is, since we possibly didn't earn it on this trip, is that we're going to work on our Alchemist trophy, which is for crafting 10 alchemical elements. So we need to switch, our inventory so that we're wearing some science gear. There we go. And use the workbench. Weapons. So this is where you want to be. You want to be in the consumables, and you want to find ones that take science level 1. Let me do this real quick because I emptied out our inventory previously. I'm just going to start moving everything into the inventory, including all our consumables. This is going to make us way overweight, you can see. But that's okay, because all we want to do at this point is bang out some quick trophies. So once you get to this point, you want to craft 10 potions. You should have enough stuff for it, like haze potions, fury potions, things like that. Health potion is one right there. So I want to craft quickly. I'll just move it up to 10. I'll confirm. Boom. And then you should get the trophy. Now, I already have the trophy. So here's all the ones we have left to go. But we're looking for Alchemist, just to show you that I have it already. But this is the next one. We're going to do another sip, which I already have. And there's the Alchemist. Craft 10 of them. So now that should be done. And then what you want to do is just consume potions. If you haven't already used 50 of them, consume 50 potions, use 50 of them, and then that'll give you another sip trophy, which I just showed you I had. So easy enough to do. And what we want to do now is craftsmanship +1 right there. Your blacksmith gloves, so put them on because we're going to work on our next trophy, which is artisan, which you probably saw I already had already. But you get that for digging in your inventory, finding things that you can upgrade that have a slot available. So like this one down here, Tracker's Tunic, and just picking any old upgrade for it. And at this point, since you're done, it doesn't matter if they're level 1s or level 3s, but you want to do 10 of those, and then you'll get the artisan achievement. All right. Another one I want to check on is the expertise trophy, which you should have gotten um, for unlocking 3 levels of a talent. So that's should be done along with the cat burglar trophy. You should already have that for picking 20 locks. So let me jump back in there and show you those two real quick. You can see we still have a bunch to go, but we're going to knock all kinds of these things out while we're with it. Expertise in cat burglar. I think I showed you cat burglar earlier. We talked through it in the early episodes that when you got to it. But there it is, expertise and cat burglar. And then the artisan, which you should have just gotten. So if we go here to talents, hitting any one of these to level 3, which I advised you to do, and then you could reload your save and pick something else, would get you the expertise talent. Now we climbed the mage tree, so we got all the talents in the mage tree, which gave us magical perfection skill. And for the attributes, if you've been following along, we got 2 of them to level 5, both willpower and mental power, both to level 5, which should have given you the In Search of Perfection trophy. If you weren't following along and you still have one, now is the time you want to reset. You can see at the bottom by pushing the square. You have 7 memory crystals, so you can reset 7 times. And that'll get you what you need to. And now what we're going to do is you should have the next spell. Let's jump over to the trophy. Next spell. The next trophy, which is the War Mage. That should have popped up because if you were following along with us, you completed this as a magical offensive person, which you only have to do damage 500 times, which you should have more than passed up by now. So that one should be done as well. But I'm going to show you how to do it if you haven't done it by following up with mage with some warrior skills. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head to the arena. Well, I'm going to switch my inventory, my gear, because we're going to be doing some combat here to earn the rest of the combat trophies. So in this door for the, and then you're heading downstairs. Just missed the corner. And then you want to go in here. Okay, so what you want to do, and what we're going to do first, is switch our inventory. Then I will show you what we're going to do for more trophies. So you want to go over here and let's zoom out. And so now what you need to do is grab all the warrior skills. So we're going to do a reset. And pick warrior. And we will start all over. So you can see we have 49 points. Let me zoom in a little bit. then you have to build up this side as well. You already have these one-handed blades. Okay, so there you go. That's all you need. That should pop the trophy for you, which is the Art of War. So let's zoom down here. And you should be, let's see if we can see it. There it is, the Art of War. We also have Incomparable Techniques, which is getting all the technical skills. So now we're going to work on our Melee Virtuoso trophy. So if you want, you can grab other skills, like if you want to get the healing skill. All this stuff you'll have to map again. Roll. Anyway, so we have 12 points left. So we'll jump back into inventory. I'll just put on the same stuff I usually have had on. Because what we're doing is not going to be that tough. We'll have to get to the attributes as well. So for the melee, strength. There you go. Endurance. Okay, all filled out. I don't know, agility if you want. It doesn't matter at this point. Okay, we're out. Talents, none of these really matter at this point. But we'll go ahead and fill up on vigor. Craftsman, intuition. We're just going to be fighting here, so it doesn't really matter what you pick. And in fact, if you don't want to pick anything, you don't really have to. Let me go back into the inventory here. Oh, for this one we need willpower 2, which we probably should have did, but not a big deal. We'll still heal some. Put on a cranebird hat. Kind of, it doesn't matter at this point. And we should have, see, agility 5. We should have picked some of those other ones. Oh well. Let me raid our supply of stuff. Where's my chest? So let's take this one. You can see which ones you can use and which ones you can't use by just going through them real quick. But we grabbed one we can use. Which is this big saber. So that should have us in good shape. We don't really need a backup weapon. But you can pick something if you want. Something. So cutlass. And then let me show you. You want to go into the arena here. I want to talk to this guy first.
Ready to excite the crowd.
And pick practice. because in practice it's going to count all of our damage as real damage. So you can see from the count on the cues here, destabilizing attack. I haven't used any of these skills really before, so we'll just continue to practice. As long as you're doing damage with them, it counts. There we go, damage a couple times. Thought the guy would heal up. And you can change weapons if you want, doesn't really matter. So it's just all about doing the damage, and you can grind it out this way. Of course, this might look easy, but remember this is practice, and if you're doing this against Guardians, they're going to be kicking your ass. Especially the ones that can jump and land on you. They're going to stun you, they'll knock you back, and you'll just continue to get punished by them. So let me check real quick. Make sure I still haven't earned this trophy. Melee Virtuoso, there it is. No, haven't done it. So you're going to have to hit him 500 times. It's a lot of times. It's a little bit grindy, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on it. And then we will work on the one for Musketeer. We'll just beat this guy all about the arena. And this is why because this is so grindy, you saw me many times switch to melee weapons. um, because that was in an effort to be expedient in getting some of these grindy trophies out of the way. So you may just want to fast forward this one on to me getting the next trophy. I already showed you that I had the Incomparable Technique trophy, which is for having all the skills in the technical field. Telling us to open the tactical pause, which you can do. This tells you all about this stuff. Spells, techniques, anything you want to display. Wants to heal ourselves. We're not damaged though. All right, here we go. So that's the practice. Grinded will jump back in there because we haven't earned the trophy yet. Pick practice again. I'm going to switch to the less damaging weapon. And we'll just follow the commands here. And then when we get to the end of this thing, we won't sheath our weapon like we did last time. And open the pause menu like it says, blah, blah, blah. Oh no, it won't even. Alright, so we're gonna have to do the practicing again. Just grindy, grindy. So let's, also we can do, there's some challenges in these things.
Ready to excite the crowd.
So we'll just go through the challenges.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
A bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
Ready to excite the crowd.
Let's do the second challenge.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Doesn't matter what you pick at this point. We're just looking for number of enemies.
excite the crowd.
So let's go all the way to the 5th challenge. Let's just mess around. Round
I don't
3.
need to remind you how this works.
Should just be one enemy. Shouldn't be too much trouble for us.
Then let's go!
This allows us to get quite a few hits in on him. You can see more than what we were getting in the other one.
You can ward off this feint.
He'll be dead in a minute. So there you go.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
So we still got to deal with our companions doing damage to him too. If you want, you can disarm them, so they can't really do any damage either. So it's just you and the boss. And you can see we're way overpowered. Smack him around. I don't know how many hits we're getting in, 15, 20. So this is going to take us a little while to grind out this trophy. There he goes.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Round
I don't
3
need to
again.
remind you how
We'll
this
just keep
works.
kicking his arse with it. Like I said, feel free to fast forward to trophy popping and me explaining how to get the next ones.
Let's see if you can ward off this feint.
And you can see the no more armor for him. It's fine. And that's because our weapon tears down his armor, and if you're doing a magic build, you don't have to worry about armor anyways. And there it is, Melee Virtuoso. So I'll just run this out. So now you have another
Ready
trophy
to
done.
excite the crowd.
So we're going to leave because we're going to do a reset, because I'm going to show you how to do all these.
Well, come back again soon.
Alright, so what we need to do is go to our skill point. We're going to do a reset. And technical. Oops, we already have that one. Start with the first ones. Should remember that. And then you got to come up the other side. And it doesn't much matter what you pick after this. We'll just fill up the other sides. All right, that should get you your trophy for technical skills. Now here we're going to go to, you want to pick put 5 points into accuracy. There you go, accuracy all the way up. just in case they hit us. We only have two more points. You can stick them somewhere. Melee attacks, one-handed blunt weapons, bladed weapons, spells, best rings, blah blah. So it doesn't really matter what you pick at this point. Pick mental power, and then we're here again. Pick vigor to run you out. The rest of these don't really matter. Pick science, because why not? And go to inventory, and then we got to get dressed again. And for this one, let's, well, if you want, you can grab one of your legendaries. But it's the amount of times you do damage, not how much damage you do. I'll go ahead and grab that one. And you can put it in right there. And let's check our bags and check ammo. Oh, we don't have enough. Takes science level 3. Anyway, we have already done some damage, so let's hope we've done enough. So you just want to load up the challenges again, just like we did last time.
Ready to excite the crowd.
And for the Musketeer one, for damage and for poison and bombs and stuff, you have to use the challenges. You can't do it in practice. Round
I don't
3.
need to remind you how this works.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this feint.
And if you notice on our little map to the left, it's telling you can see the countdown on the ammunition. Oh,
Ready to excite
want to
the
be
crowd.
careful with that last one there, you don't lose it. Oh, level 36, fine.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Again, level 43 is max.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
We got 252, 251, 250. Need to do damage 300 times. So just keep banging away with whatever gun you have, pistol, arquebus, whatever you want to use. Just remember when it gets close to death, because you don't want to waste ammunition. We already are a little shy of 300. There we go.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Alright. Back down we go.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
And you can see in the beginning he takes a little less damage just because we're wearing down his armor with our firearm. And then once his armor's down, he takes a lot more damage.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Always ready to excite the crowd. Ready to excite our
I don't need to
friends and
remind you how
followers
this
on
works.
Twitch, so make sure you jump on there. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and like the video. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out. You can subscribe to the channel as well. As you can see how we're doing the damage here. You can see even when he jumps up and they're in the air, your enemy will still take damage from your firearm. That's one of the advantages of firearms over melee. Same rule is true for magic too. You can still affect guys in the air. There he goes.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Yes, we are. We'll find out when we run out of ammunition if we've gotten to the trophy or not. If not, we'll just have to go buy some more and come back in here and do it again. Or do it some more, not again, but... So you can see we're under 200 now, 172, 171, 170. Just go ahead and kick this guy's behind. Don't know what Ciara is yelling at him, but whatever. We'll just keep blasting away on her.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Of course we are.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Nope, you don't. But you continue to do it anyways. Which is fine. We started, I think, at like 151. So I don't know what we're getting, 20, 30 shots a time. See where we end up this one. That was 20 hits, so maybe 25. Yeah, it looks like it.
Excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Nope, you don't. In we go. Kick another fool's ass again, like we've been doing. Looks like it was exactly 25 shots to get this guy, which means a little over 10, about 12, 13 times we're gonna have to do this. But we're over halfway now. Good thing this is still on easy, or those hits we're taking would hurt us a lot more.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Under 100 now. Countdown is getting down there. 3 more times. Hopefully the trophy passes, or pops, before we run out of all of our ammunition.
Let's see if we can ward off this fate.
But you can see if you take a firearms build, pairing it with science so that you can make ammunition is what you'll want to do.
Ready to excite the crowd.
But generally, you can find quite a bit of ammunition around.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Fingers crossed that we're getting there. It's 74 and counting. Down. So that's one of the things if you like collecting trophies, even if it's not the Platinum Trophy. You can certainly grab a bunch of them by following along on my videos, my playthrough, my game guides here, Rasputin Gaming,
Ready to excite
and
the
it'll
crowd.
get you there. Looks like
I
it's
don't need
getting
to
a little
remind you
bit
how
thin
this
here.
works.
The chance to complete this. But let's see how we do.
Let's go.
Burned a shot
Ready
for
to
nothing.
excite the crowd.
Last time around, oh, we're level 37. Look at us go. Not that it matters.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Poison on my blade. Let's go.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Uh-oh. Run out of ammunition. That's it. All out of ammunition.
Ready to excite the crowd.
We have to leave because I need some ammunition.
A pity. Well, come back again soon.
So there's all our companions. That's not going to work. So let's go hit up a vendor, blacksmith, somebody, and see if we can't grab a bunch of ammunition to finish off here. So the slow loading we have to deal with, we're trying to avoid that, but unfortunately we were not able to. Let's check with the blacksmith.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to see you again.
Alright, no ammunition. That's what I was afraid of.
Come closer, good people. The cure ain't
let's visit the merchant over here.
Welcome. It's such a. Have you?
Oh, he's got 5, boy. That isn't very helpful.
Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Probably should be looting and seeing if we can find any ammo while we're out here. There's a couple more. There's a couple more. I'm gonna laugh if when we go back in there we get the trophy on the first shot. There's a couple more. Come on, dude, you're in the way. Can't remember if all these over here are lockpick specials. That one is. There wasn't any over there. But there's a couple down this street. And then we'll head back into the arena. We grind out these last trophies for you. A couple more ammo, nice. And our right turn right there is where we needed to go, but I know there's some more trophies. More chests over here, more looting. There's a couple more. Now we'll head back. We'll open anything else we find on the way. There's one. Coins, which we don't really care about. We'll go around the back door. I think that'll yield a couple more for us. Yeah, there's one. Couple more ammo. And one we missed right outside the door, which only had one. Alright, so let's go in and see if we're got enough ammo to finish this thing off. And pop the trophy. Into the arena we go. Alright.
Ready to excite the crowd?
Fifth challenge again, round 3.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Alright, in we go.
A bit of poison on my blade.
There it is. 2 shots, probably 1. That was pretty funny. Okay. This will be slowly wearing it down here. Because I have a crappy weapon in my hand at the moment. Which we could just go ahead and jump into the inventory while we're getting beaten up right here. Selecting a different weapon. Like, not sure I have anything that can do more damage than that little stiletto. So So we'll just keep banging away with it. He's almost down. There he goes. So you got the trophy. All right, leave. So now the next one, Poisoning Artist, is a little trickier.
Come back again soon.
So what we need to do is first I need to get, well, we can just work with the weapon we have, but we need to map burst. So poison bomb, and we want to bind this to where it's not bound before. And now you want a level with multiple humans in it. So first one, I think round 2 had 5 in it, or 6 people. And you can throw a bomb whenever you're 4. We need more than that.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go. Let's see if the hunger can ward off.
So at this point, all we can do is just, we have to build up our fury. Unfortunately, the fight is going to be over. First one, let's try round 3.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Oh, that's not what I needed.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Abandon the current one.
I would like to abandon the current challenge.
Are you sure? Well,
Yes.
If you
Abandon.
ready to excite the crowd.
Maybe it was round 2. Let's try
I don't need
round
to remind
2.
you how this works.
Challenge 2. Aren't people, but it should work just the same.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go.
There we go. We've poisoned 5 dudes.
Ready to excite the crowd.
And we need 100 of them, so we have to do it 20 times, and that happens to be how many bombs we have. We can make more. So 2-2 seems to work. Fortunately, we have to get all of our fury back. There we are. That's not what I meant to do. So the fury's up. I knew they were going to kill him, so I didn't bother to throw the bomb. I pushed the wrong button, which is what happened. Second and round 2.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Remember, it's on the D-pad. It's not a trigger, which is what I did. There we go. All 6 are poisoned.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Wasted one there by accident. Second challenge, round 2.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
See when we jump in there if it gives us the bomb count again.
Bit of poison on my blade.
17 bombs. So it doesn't look like everybody got poisoned.
excite the crowd. I
It's too
don't
bad
need to
that
remind you
Vasco
how this
didn't count
works.
towards this trophy because half his combat is poison.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
There we go. We got 6 that time.
Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
So we'll just wind these guys down again and start
Ready
the next.
to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
It's a little grindy. We're an hour in here. We're busting out a bunch of trophies. 6, 7 trophies so far.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
You've seen me actually get a couple because I didn't have them yet.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
And you can tell they're poisoned by the little green fires above their heads, bodies,
Ready to
wherever
excite
that
the
is.
crowd.
So as long as it looks like you're getting a bunch of those, you should be good.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Oops. Pushed the wrong button on the D-pad there. But we poisoned a few.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Could you explain the rules?
So, each chapter once.
Didn't mean to ask for the rules.
I
But
don't
when
need
you're
to remind
doing
you how
grindy
this
stuff, you
works.
often hit the wrong button. I'm sure you guys have had that happen to you as well.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Oh my god, how many times am I gonna do that? Pushing the wrong button like an ignoramus.
See if you can ward off.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Nope, but you remind us that you don't need to remind us.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Boom, there you go. All 6 of them poisoned again. It's been 13 times now, it looks like, by my count. And 6 times 13, that's like 78. So we're getting close.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Couple to spare for a couple of mistakes I made early on.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
But poisoned again. Virtuoso.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Poison on my blade.
All poisoned again, all 6. That's awesome for us. Should be about 90 of them now, so
Ready to excite the
2
crowd.
more tries should get us there.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Poison on my blade. And let's go! See if you can ward off this
Ready to excite the crowd.
Let's see if the next one gives it to us or not. And maybe one more after that.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
poison on my blade. And let's go!
Well, my count, that should be in the neighborhood of 100, 102, somewhere in there. Didn't pop, then we made some mistakes earlier, didn't get everybody poisoned that we needed to. I believe I threw 1 bomb away
Ready to
by
excite the
accident,
crowd.
so maybe 2 tries.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
Got 2 poison bombs left. Hopefully we're gonna
Ready
get
to
there
excite
in
the
those
crowd.
2 more tries.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. And
Oh,
let's
we
go!
didn't get them all that time. And maybe that's what's hurting us, is we didn't get everybody. You want to try and make sure you have the center one target when you first come down into the arena.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
And there it is on the last bomb. Perfect. This poisoning artist is done. Good job, you guys. And I'll show you how to get the next one. It's a little grindy too, just like all of these are.
Ready to excite the crowd.
So with the next one, we're going
I
to
need to get going.
leave right here because we need to switch our
Well, come
companions.
back again soon.
We actually could have done this quite a bit earlier. Okay, compose our team. Vasco's out and Afra is in. And you want her in her team because she uses traps. I mean, you can use traps too.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't
2-2.
need to remind you how this works.
And there she goes. She threw 1. Don't really see her lining up to throw any more. I don't really use her as probably remember. So if she's only going to use one each time, this is going to take us a while.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Okay, let me leave and see
need
what
to
we
get
can do
going.
about picking up the
A pity.
traps
Well,
on this thing.
come back again soon.
Let's go to the crafting table. Well, first we need to switch our inventory to our blacksmith gloves. So we can do crafting. Just taking a look through here. Alright. Alright, and then what we need to do is, you can see all the traps we can set. So let's bind this one to where we had our bomb. And let's go back to work now, working on the traps. And as long as ahve throws one down every time we enter battle, we'll get kind of a 2-for-1 kind of deal here. And it's just doing damage a number of times. So I'm going to pick the big boss because we can damage him a bunch of times with traps. Just makes things go faster so you don't have to keep reloading the arena. I was hoping there he goes. There he goes. So I'm just going to keep setting him down and hopefully he'll keep coming at us. There he goes, nice. Oh, that was kind of weird. He actually hit me without setting off the trap. There we go. Set down another one. Kind of open effort more than just shoot a gun, fire more than one time. So this is why this one is slow and grindy. Trying to cause attention so I don't waste this trap. Wasted.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Oh, level 38. Look at us go.
I don't need to remind you how this works.
We'll try and stay in the midst of the conflict this time. I don't know if we gotta attack him some more. Oh, our other trap is still there. Wait, this isn't helping us get our trophy, is it? Whatever the case.
Ready to excite the crowd. I don't need to remind you how this works.
Oh, there we go. We got one. He hit one of them. There's two. Finally, this fool. Again. So maybe what we'll do is spark up one of the ones with a lot more enemies, so a chance that they'll run over a couple of these traps on their own. Because this guy is just going to continue to attack CR all day long.
Ready to excite the crowd.
Let's go 5-2 this time. Let's see how that works. What do we have out there? Oh, we got a bunch of guys. Cool. Just trying to bait them all into my traps. Nice. Oh, I thought I put one down.
Ready to excite the crowd.
So that kind of worked out.
need to
Since I don't
remind
have a
you how
bunch on
this
the ground
works.
yet, I'll go ahead and fire up this one again. So we can get some on the ground. There's a couple of traps he landed on nicely for us. At this point, we're just going to litter the ground with them. We'll set him off for the next level will. He ran into a couple of them. That was nice. Ran into at least one. Saw a pop and another one. 20 of them left. Here's a couple more. Another one. If I remember right, the rules are 200 times you have to damage with traps. So this is going to be, in my opinion, painfully slow.
Ready to excite the crowd.
All right, we got a bunch on the ground. So let's go with number 2
I don't need to remind you how this
and have a
works.
bunch of dudes come out and we'll deal with them. There it is, Deceitful. So once all these guys die, and you've earned that trophy. So the last two you've already should have earned by now, which is Coercive Diplomacy and Monster's Nightmare for killing 300 humans and for killing 600 monsters. So let me leave this for a second here. Let's look at trophies. So these last two we know are coming. And then there's a couple more story ones that we have to be careful with. There's Betrayal in Blood, because we got to get betrayed. And then we have to preserve the Alliance and decide to save Teleme from the guard coup. That's 3 of these ones up here. And then there's 2 other ones right near the ending that we're also going to have to earn. So there we go. So those are all the ones you can earn now. And now we're going to have to go back to the main menu and we will start a new adventure on extreme mode. So I'll leave it. Oh, look at that. We crashed. So I'll leave it right there. We've ground out a bunch of trophies. Don't forget to friend and follow us on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And this one was for the big Harls. We will see you guys for our extreme playthrough.